Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Hello there. Welcome back, everybody.
Yeah, this is a big one here. Panama warns of looming massive migrant wave. Tens of thousands are on the way. Actually, they said there's 85,000 Haitian immigrants that recently have entered Panama that they think are all heading for the border.
Can you imagine that? Wow.
And, you know, you can't blame people for wanting to escape bad situations. But I gotta wonder, just think of the logistics of getting 85,000 people in a migrant caravan like that from one country that's, an island. It almost makes me wonder, just think about the logistics. Who's helping them?
Right. I mean, it takes a lot of coordination because there's people that are going to have health problems, people that are going to be hungry, people that need medicine. There's got to be a lot of coordination going on in the background. And it is a great question. It's a fair question that people ask. Who's doing this?
That's a lot of boats, just to put it that simple. Think about that. And of course, we've already had a whole bunch come through. And where have they gone? I mean, I've heard reports from people that are family members. One, Elena, up in Waynesville, North Carolina, which I used to live in Clyde, North Carolina, right next to Waynesville. Small towns. Love Waynesville, great little town. She was saying that there's what did she say, 12,000 or something like that, 10,000 that they were going to bring to the Asheville area. And again, this is just what she said. I didn't see any links to this. I don't know if there is any sort of official documentation. But when you've seen the massive waves of migration that are coming into the country right now from different areas, many from the Middle East, you got to wonder why people aren't questioning exactly why all this is going on and where are they? We talked about, all those people that were under that bridge and then they were gone. And then we find out, well, they've been dispersed. And, a lot of people are getting very suspicious.
Well, yeah, we showed one video with them crossing a river and the Border Patrol agents were on horses. And these were very, looked to be very healthy men. And they had go boxes, like pizza boxes and go boxes with them.
It was. And again, we're not on the border. Yeah, we're hundreds of miles away from the border. But, briefly I thought, boy, that would be a fun little road trip. But, we got to take care of the plants.
Yep.
We don't want to lose all that we got going. But boy, does that make me itch to get going and to check it out with your own eyes. 30,000 have already made their way over the U.S.-Mexico border in recent weeks. 85,000 add to that. That's 115,000 people. And again, what if, 10% of them were actually these, sleepy cells that we're talking about? It's a lot of troops. And that's just in one little, time frame. How about going back, let's say, to the early 1990s? Let's go back to the breakup of the Soviet Union. And many people feel that that was actually kind of a ruse, in a way.
Mm-hmm. Right. It could be something like that, which they're very, very good at making a ruse.
Yes, as we know, there are puppet masters, and then there are, the puppets, and we get to see the puppets for the most part. This is huge. This is huge. And so we see over here, this is Governor Abbott. Texas has thousands of National Guard and Texas Department of Public Safety personnel deployed along the border. Texas legislature devoted $3 billion to fund border security efforts, including building a wall. We've made thousands of arrests and will continue to do so. Texas is securing the border. And this is, again, all part of the bigger breakup, but much, much more than just the breakup. There's so much in play here that's been planned for a very, very long time. And jumping over to MSN here, we see Texas state troopers arrest thousands of migrants crossing the border. Now, critics are calling it unconstitutional. The problem I have is when I believe certain people know the bigger picture, and they're not sincere in that, you could label things unconstitutional. You could basically slant it. So you're talking about a human crisis, which it is. Haiti got hit by that massive quake, and they had a quake 10 years earlier that they were still reeling from. That was brutal. They also have a lot of poverty, and there's all sorts of issues there. And everybody should be trying to help each other and work together. But when it's politics, it's all about agendas going on. And, that's what we see in this bigger picture. And there's a huge picture here that many people are waking up to. And by the way, staying on Texas acquires some monoclonal antibodies, which are bypassing the limits that were put out there by HHS and number 46, because they had to ration them. And so, Texas wasn't getting what they thought their people needed, so they went out and got it on their own instead of going through the middleman, which has been mandated. And the federal government directed change now requires states to use HHS as the middleman to obtain the antibody treatments and places caps on how many each state can obtain. Well, if a state is able to go out and secure from some other country, some other place, these that are going to benefit their people, why should there be a limit on it?
I know. Why not be able to help people when they need help? That's just putting a curtain, closing a curtain, saying, no, we're not going to allow you to help your people.
Yep. And again, this is part of the bigger picture that we've been talking about for a long time. Here we see China panics. Beijing orders energy firms to secure supplies at all costs. Interesting. Beijing is no longer willing to risk social anger of its own people, and they are tired of the blackouts that we were talking about.
Right.
The blackouts when you're trying to get home at night, and all of a sudden none of the traffic lights work, and you just got traffic jams. It's crazy chaos. So at all costs. Think about that wording right there, at all costs, because this is what some have been warning about for a long time. When things get desperate, at all costs could end up meaning conflict with other nations too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a big word. At all costs, it means a lot.
And when I saw this, my head just started shaking right away. And we had gotten from the guides that there are in place these sleepy cells that have been here for perhaps a generation or more, 20, 30 years. And, maybe this has something to do with it, maybe it has nothing to do with it. But this is just what it hit me as. It just jogged my memory to what the guides were saying and the galactics were saying, that we've been talking about sleepy cells, we've been talking about people coming over the border, and I got from the G-Fed, the galactic FED oration, way back in 2016, the term Trojan Horse, and that actually came from the boss, basically, of our regular contact that we have now, as somehow he's had a psychic link to me going back that far. And so, that's weird. See, I get things in flashes. Cindy gets things just crystal clear. But yeah, Trojan Horse is what I got so strong. And, through the successive visions and dreams that I've had, it all played out to knowing what he meant by that. And here we look at number 46's nominee for the top bank regulator. Well, this person earned the Lenin Award. She praised the USSR's equality and wants to end banking as we know it. So yeah, number 46's pick for comptroller of the currency is quite the anti-capitalist Cornell University law professor, Sole Amarova, who proposed ending banking as we know it, and that radical change to the system would make the institution more inclusive, efficient, and stable, has come under fire for her extreme views. Until I came to the US, I couldn't imagine that things like gender pay gaps still existed in today's world. Say what you will about the old USSR, there was no gender pay gap there. Market doesn't always know best. Now that was a tweet from back in 1999. And, it's interesting too, because we get all sorts of comments because we cover so many different topics, and I don't think the system is good, but the thing is they want to change it towards a way that even lends more power and control into less and less hands.
Yep.
And that's what it's all about. So when you look at her bio and all, she was born in Kazakhstan. And so went to high school there. And she came over here in 1991. So she's been here for 30 years. And, had glowing things to say about growing up in some aspects in the USSR. Gotta wonder, the USSR's breakup, was it what it really appeared to be? As we know, so much of everything that goes on is an illusion. And there's certainly, as we've been saying, this power structure that wants to shift power over to Asia. In particular, over to the PCC, put it up to a mirror, as we've been saying. I don't think it's a stretch. I don't think it's hard to see how this is happening. And remember that term, Trojan Horse, that I got in 2016? There's a poll. Majorities say the left is using the plague upon the land as a Trojan horse for permanent socialism. And I don't really think socialism is the term that we need to, use here. It's more of a techno oligarchy.
Yeah.
It's basically, it's through the use of technology that through the use of corporations also, which, again, take away the ability to hit the individuals. In many cases, you don't even know who the individuals are. Yeah, we're familiar with the politicians, which are the ugly actors. The good-looking actors go to Hollywood. That whole thing, it's true. I mean, it most definitely is true when you see it. Hey, Ronald Reagan was an actor, right? And when we look to number 45, I mean, do you guys remember all the fun he had in the WWE, WWF? And, of course, the TV show. It's all about charisma and how you portray things. So this is a video that we put up on Evolutionary Energy Arts back in January 17th of 2018. There was one that was earlier than this, which has disappeared. And Evolutionary, we've been in the process of cleaning out the videos, which does break my heart, honestly, because 4+ years of working on this, building this channel and reaching people, and we had one video got close to 1 million views. The average videos were getting 20 to 40,000 views at a time before everything changed. as the power structure started to shift. And so, I just shared. Now, again, this is going to be almost 4 years old before you know it. And it's talking about all the things that now we can see so clearly coming down, one thing after another. Just like the guides have shown. And the guides had told us so many times, so many different things. And here I was talking about how the U.S. is going to break up and it's going to be invaded. And then also technologies that were used. So I'll include the link here, and I might end up uploading it over to EEA or Rumble as well. So we see Smith and Wesson ditches Massachusetts over pending legislation. So they're moving their headquarters to Tennessee. They're going to relocate to Maryville, Tennessee in 2023, heading from a blue state to a red state. And there's going to be such an internal mass migration. It's already underway. As we get closer and deeper into this and people start to realize the states are going to break up, they're going to break away, because there's going to be things that are coming into play that they're just, some states are not going to accept and other ones will bend the knee. Right? Going back to, what was that show? Game of Thrones. All you got to do is bend the knee.
Right.
Yeah, some states are not going to bend the knee, others will. So, here, they're actually the nation's largest manufacturer of guns. And, the new legislation that's going would actually keep them from making certain ones in a state they've been there for 170 years. Well, they're saying bye-bye Massachusetts. And, a lot of people are going to be jumping, and businesses, in some cases very fast, as certain legislation gets pushed through to get to where they're going to feel more comfortable. So La Palma is still ongoing. Lava pyramid rises from the sea. More than 29,000 earthquakes. 10 tons of chemicals almost hit by lava. That's, this is so wild. And the next article shows a photo of this from satellite. Incredible, the changes that we see. And again, what we get is that this is definitely artificial flavoring. So you have a new delta being formed. It's about 500 meters wide. It's even changed the color of the surrounding water from beautiful turquoise to brown. And of course, those gases can be deadly. As I'm going to check this out and show you guys. This is a cosmonaut's view of La Palma from space. And you can see how long that lava flow is as it made it to the sea. And building new land. And then we have over all the way on the other side, Kilauea. And, we got the Helena slump over there, which could cause a tsunami, right? Aviation color warning now is a red. And it is erupting. So you got the potential for a tsunami over in the Pacific and also on the East Coast. Now, I think that, things were naturally to happen. I think that chances, and the galactics have said that the chances are low. If things were to be let alone and naturally occur, very low. More than likely, you wouldn't have a chance of a major tsunami, really, not a good chance. However, with the technologies that exist, you just never know. I've always felt like when they do trigger, because I always saw that they were going to trigger. Not that this is Mother Nature going to wash away things quite yet. She's still got a ways to go. She's still ascending. This is most definitely, in our humble opinion, artificial flavoring, but I always felt that they would do a 1-2 punch with both coasts getting hit with something major. And you'd have Cascadia and San Andreas also being triggered. As we're getting closer to that second eclipse, the 2024, we're going to be in 2022 before you know it, guys. time is speeding up, literally. And that's another thing that the Galactics talked about. They said, yes, if it feels like time is speeding up, it actually is for many of us as we're going through the ascension process.
Yeah, it's really curious how that stuff works. And I'm really fortunate that we have a way to have a little bit of guidance about it. But this bothers me. I don't like seeing it, in La Palma. I don't like seeing Kilauea. I don't like seeing anyone's lives be in danger. So let's just try to put out the positive intent that Earth does what she needs to do, but none of her children get hurt.
Exactly. And she is the mother of our physical bodies. Mm-hmm. So, and recognize we are cells in her. Should be a symbiotic relationship. The power structure that's on this planet, well, they have us acting like a nasty virus, a plague upon the land ourselves. So this is part of how basically the divine feminine has been just forgotten. And this is so sad, that connection to the earth. If we were connected to the earth, like the indigenous people of this planet, and that's a big term too, the indigenous people of this planet. Who really are the indigenous people of this planet? Well, there's been different waves of people coming in, and the system that we have in our point of view, it's a power structure that comes basically to Earth via Mars, but ultimately from Nibiru. Mm-hmm. And this is not a native Terran, so to speak, system in place. When we are out of this Kali Yuga, the Dark Age, and it does take a little bit of time, because there's a descent that goes on and an ascent. And I was thinking we will do a recap video, because we've had some people, and we know there's some people that watch every video, and there's others that come and go, and some that are brand new. And so when we're talking about what we've discovered, in my mind, of course, it's all congruent. But then again, that's 3,000 videos. And, not everybody's seen all 3,000 videos. So it might be a good idea to maybe do a video or two, or even a series recapping everything that we've discovered from the nature of our reality, on down to the precession of the equinoxes. What does that mean? The descent into the Kali Yuga, the ascent, through Dwapara and Treta up to Satya Yuga, and how this has happened time and time and time and time and time again. Yeah, we have to go over that from start to finish, and we will. Maybe it'll be a whole series.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, we have like a bunch more information to give you guys, and we will be giving that. We'll start with hopefully another video today, later on, if not tomorrow morning. But again, this is all about the fact that right now it's go time. We are in the thick of it. We are really in the thick of it. So be as prepared as possible. Keep working on getting yourselves as free from the system as possible, whatever that looks like for you. The most important thing, and Laurel said this to us today, and we'll share it with you in the next video, but she said that it boggles their mind how people don't spend time in deep meditation, because for them, that's the most important thing every day. That's the most important. There's nothing more important, because you need to be able to get in touch with the higher self. You need to be able to allow yourself to basically process everything. And if we don't take the time to just shut down the nonstop talking of that left brain, you'll never really get a chance to move forward. You're just rewinding the same tape every single day, or you're taking in more information that just goes in a never-ending loop, and you just don't ever really get anywhere with it.
It's right. That's something that we need to really sit and think about think about our priorities and where do they stand. And then think about where have they taught us to put our priorities. Most people are all about work, 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 because, you know, you do need to make those house payments. You do have to make those bills. You do have to put food on the table. However, if you stop to take the time for yourself, all of that will fall in line much nicer. You know, when you make yourself number one, everything behind you is like an A plus. So super important to spend time with yourself.
Yes. So we want to thank everybody for your support over on Ko-Fi and also over on Patreon. And we couldn't do it without you guys over there, as Patreon doesn't want to load. And then also, there you go. And then also everybody that has been ordering from Medicinal Foods and using the link that's at the top of every video. We know our sister Talia just ordered a couple of cases, probably.
Yes.
I'm guessing she got some bars in there.
Oh gosh, I know. I need to get some bars. Those are so good.
So yes, thank you guys for your support, because that does also help to support the channel as well. As we had mentioned, we're on Brighteon. So yeah, we put like every video pretty much up on Brighteon. We are on Bitchute, but we can't post, and I actually started a second Bitchute. The original is under EEARTS. I just made an Evolutionary Energy Arts at Bitchute, and we can't post. And we have multiple computers, and somehow they have us blocked, and they have no explanation for that. So Bitchute's up in the air, but we are also on Rumble. Brand new tube. We're on that whenever they get to actually process a video. So far the results are not overwhelming on brand new tube. Rumble does seem good though. It seems like, you know, videos process in hardly any time. So Rumble will be a good outlet. I got a couple of other things that I'm working on as well. And so we're going to end up being like everywhere.
Yes.
And so, you know, as things go on, because, you know, there's a big purge at YT, you know, we'll still be out there. So make sure to keep looking and stay in touch, guys. And as always, God bless and namaste.
Namaste.